Rob fell on his cushioned butt and watched their mothers leave the room, then sat in the pen surveying his surroundings. Teddy was sorting papers he'd printed before leaving for the bathroom. Rob turned to see Jamie sucking his thumb and looking down at his diaper. Jamie didn't see Rob staring at him as he used the other hand pushing on the front of his pants. There wasn't any distress on his face but more of a curiosity. Rob noticed his crotch was also a bit warmer. He reasoned they were both processing their bottles as he remembered how fluids flushed through Benny so quickly. Rob sat back and stared at the playpen's wall as he felt the diaper grow warmer and concentrated on the sensation. He was pulled back by his playmate's high-pitched voice. "So what happened? Why didn't you get in touch with us?" Rob gazed down at his crotch and at the symbol of his new status. Taking a deep breath, he pulled an index finger from his mouth as tried to figure out where to start telling his tale. By the time Rob had finished the story, he was getting weary. Recanting the tale had allowed him to vent his feelings, almost causing him to break down a couple of times. Jamie had listened intently and squealed multiple times when he recognized a similar experience. Both children had slowed and their enthusiasm was waning. Both knew nap time would come soon. Michelle and Marjorie strode through the lab door carrying multiple bags from various stores, clearly happy to have spent time away from their children conversing with another adult. "Honey, what are you still doing up? It's past your nap time. We left an hour and a half ago and expected the two of you would be fast asleep by now." The two babies looked at each other with smug grins on their face for having flaunted their daily routine. Both mothers came over and lifted their children into their arms. Marjorie wiggled two fingers under Jamie's pants and down into his diaper to confirm what she had guessed. Michelle didn't bother to check Rob, she knew he would need a change. Both mothers pulled out their diaper bags and spread the changing pads on the counter. The children laid on their backs with their legs spread apart looking up into the eyes of their loving mothers. The snaps around their crotch popped as the women accessed the diapers. Jamie spoke before the women began to undo the soiled underwear. "Michelle, you can use another one of my diapers instead of one of those leaky ones." Michelle smiled and reached down for one of the shopping bags. "Thank you, Jamie." However, while at the mall I picked up some new diapers for Robbie. Michelle pulled 3 items from the shopping bag, placing them beside her son. Rob was curious what Michelle had purchased, however he couldn't sit up to see because her hand softly held him down while she removed the diaper and wiped his private parts. She lovingly spread the baby powder around his crotch before reaching for one of the products he couldn't see. "Honey, we heard your conversation with Jamie earlier about your diapers. I have to say it was quite funny for us too." "Hey Rob. You are moving up to Pampers now." Jamie screamed about as he squirmed and let loose a babyish laugh. "No, not Pampers, but I did buy a small pack of Huggies. However, I found a store that sold cloth diapers. You seemed interested when Jamie mentioned them earlier, so you're going to wear one of your new reusable diapers." Michelle then picked up Rob's feet and slid the cotton pad underneath. Then letting go of his little feet, she firmly pulled the diaper up between his legs and used a package of diaper pins to fasten it in place. Finally lifting each foot, the plastic pants were guided up the legs and coming to rest around his groin and waist. Finally, after he was checked to make sure the rubber pant was properly in place, he was helped to the standing position on the floor. Across the room he saw Jamie standing there holding on to his mommy. Jamie smiled in amusement, wearing nothing but a green t-shirt and a brand new pristine white disposable diaper. Rob then looked down to see his pants had also been removed, leaving him in a white shirt and what looked like a huge puffy yellow diaper. In fact, it was the plastic pants he was looking at that were a milky yellow, and the thickness of the cloth made it puff out. It looked huge compared to the disposable, however Rob wasn't annoyed by the look. In fact, Rob let out a squeal of approval for wearing something new and upgraded from those terrible generic diapers. He was happy to be held in Michelle's grasp while trying to stand, the cloth diapers bunched between his legs far worse than those disposables. He could feel his legs being spread apart further, making his balance that much worse. He doubted he could take more than 2 or 3 steps before falling over. The boys were laid on their backs in the playpen, then had a blanket tucked around the 2 of them. "Now I don't want to hear a peep out of the 2 of you for the next hour." It was a moot point as Jamie was already softly snoring. They retreated from the office, quietly closing the door behind them. Then turning towards Teddy, the mothers were ready to hear a solution that could solve their present dilemma.